Hey, what if I told you there are places in the world where you can eat 3 full meals, stay in a decent hotel, and still spend less than the cost of one Starbucks order back home? It sounds crazy, I know, but it's absolutely true. For so many of us, the dream of exploring the world feels more and more out of reach. In fact, according to a 2024 Statista report, over 70% of travelers say rising travel costs are the #1 reason they skip international trips. That's a huge number of people missing out on life-changing experiences simply because they think they can't afford it. But here's the twist. Not every destination will empty your wallet. The world is massive, and while places like Paris, London, and Tokyo get all the attention and drain your bank account, there are hidden gems where your money goes incredibly far. These are places packed with culture, adventure, incredible food, and friendly people, all without the premium price tag. Today, I'm breaking down 5 insanely cheap travel destinations for 2025 that offer amazing experiences without breaking the bank. I've been to these places, I've lived on their budgets, and I can tell you firsthand they are spectacular. So if you're craving Wanderlust but your wallet is giving you the side eye, you've come to the right place. We're about to unlock a world of affordable travel that will change the way you see your budget. This isn't about cutting corners on experiences, it's about choosing destinations where the cost of living is so low, you can live like royalty for pennies. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. You might be surprised at where you could be flying next for the price of a Friday night dinner. Alright, kicking off our list at number 1 is a city that holds a special place in my heart, Hanoi, Vietnam. This city is an absolute sensory overload in the best way possible. From the second you step out of your hotel, you're hit with the sounds of a million motorbikes, the smells of sizzling street food on every corner, and a vibrant energy that is just completely infectious. It's a place where ancient temples sit right next to French colonial architecture, creating a visual tapestry that tells a story of a long and complex history. The first thing you need to know about Hanoi is the cost. It is mind-blowingly cheap. I'm talking about a delicious steaming bowl of pho, the national dish, for about $1.50. You can sit on a tiny plastic stool on the sidewalk, slurp down the best noodles of your life, and watch the world go by. And to wash it down, how about a Bia Hoi, a local draft beer, for just 50 cents? You can literally have a full meal and a drink for $2. It's insane. Accommodation is just as affordable. You can find clean, social, and perfectly comfortable hostels for as little as $5 a night. That's not a typo. $5. This makes Vietnam an absolute paradise for backpackers and budget travelers. It allows you to extend your trip for weeks or even months without even thinking about your bank account. The low cost of living here is a game changer, freeing you up to focus on the experience itself. Now let's talk about the street life. Hanoi's Old Quarter is a labyrinth of narrow streets, each one specializing in a different trade. You have streets for silk, for bamboo, for silver, and of course, for food. The real adventure, though, is crossing the street. There are no real traffic lights, just a constant flowing river of motorbikes. The trick? Just walk slowly and steadily, and the traffic will magically flow around you. It's terrifying the first time, but by day 2, you'll feel like a local. One of the most beautiful things about Hanoi is the blend of cultures. The French influence is everywhere, from the grand Hanoi Opera House to the flaky croissants you can find in local bakeries. But this is layered on top of a deeply rooted Vietnamese culture, with serene lakes like Hoan Kiem Lake right in the city center where you can see locals practicing Tai Chi in the morning. It's a city of contrast that somehow works in perfect chaotic harmony. My top travel tip for Hanoi is to embrace the local way of life. Download the Grab app, which is Southeast Asia's version of Uber. It's incredibly cheap for getting around on a motorbike taxi, which is an experience in itself. And when it comes to food, my rule is simple. Follow the locals. If you see a street food stall packed with Vietnamese people with a long line and tiny plastic chairs, you know it's going to be good. Don't be afraid to point at what you want and just dive in. The energy here is something you have to feel to understand. It's not just a place you visit. It's a place you experience with all 5 senses. Whether you're sipping egg coffee, a bizarre but delicious local specialty, or exploring the somber history at the Hoa Lo Prison Museum, Hanoi leaves a permanent mark on you. It's a city that proves you don't need money to have a rich travel experience. So if you're looking for a destination that is buzzing with life, overflowing with incredible food, and will barely make a dent in your savings, Hanoi is your spot. The value you get for your money here is, in my opinion, unmatched anywhere else in the world. It's a city that challenges you, delights you, and ultimately, welcomes you with open arms and a full, cheap bowl of pho. Next up, we're heading to South America, to a city that will literally take your breath away. La Paz, Bolivia. This is the highest capital city in the world, sitting at a dizzying 3,640 meters, that's almost 12,000 feet, above sea level. The moment you arrive, you feel the altitude. The air is thin, your steps are a little heavier, but the views are absolutely out of this world. La Paz is nestled in a massive canyon surrounded by the towering peaks of the Andes. It's a cityscape unlike any other. What makes La Paz so unique for travelers besides the altitude is its incredible affordability and its one-of-a-kind public transport system. Forget subways or buses, the main way to get around here is Mi Teleferico, the world's largest network of urban cable cars. For just a few cents, you can soar over the city, getting a bird's-eye view of the sprawling markets, colorful houses, and the majestic Mount Illimani in the distance. It's not just transportation, it's a tourist attraction in itself. The culture in La Paz is deeply rooted in indigenous Aymara and Quechua traditions, and nowhere is this more apparent than the famous Witches Market, or El Mercado de las Brujas. This isn't a tourist gimmick, it's a real market where locals come to buy folk remedies, spiritual offerings, and some pretty bizarre items, like dried llama fetuses, which are buried under new constructions for good luck. It's fascinating, a little spooky, and a completely authentic look into a different belief system. Beyond the city's core, the landscape transforms dramatically. A short trip will take you to the Valle de la Luna, or Moon Valley. It's a surreal maze of canyons and spires formed by erosion, and walking through it feels like you've landed on another planet. It's these kinds of unique, otherworldly experiences that make Bolivia so special. You can go from a bustling, high-altitude city to a lunar landscape in less than an hour. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the altitude. It's a real challenge, and altitude sickness can hit anyone, regardless of fitness level. The key is to take it slow. Don't try to run around and see everything on your first day. Acclimatize, drink tons of water, and do as the locals do. Chew on coca leaves or drink coca tea, known as mate de coca. It's a mild stimulant that has been used for centuries to combat the effects of high altitude, and it genuinely helps. Financially, Bolivia is a dream. You can get a massive lunch called an almuerzo, which includes a soup, a main course, a dessert, and a drink, for as little as $2 to $3. Local buses, or micros, will take you almost anywhere in the city for about 25 cents. Your money stretches so far here that it allows you to splurge on incredible adventures like biking down the Death Road or taking a multi-day trip to the Salar de Uyuni salt flats, which is an absolute must-do if you're in Bolivia. The people of La Paz are a bit more reserved than in other parts of Latin America, but they are incredibly kind and welcoming once you engage with them. Learning a few basic phrases in Spanish goes a long way. They have a quiet resilience, a strength that seems to be forged by the harsh mountain environment they call home. There's a powerful sense of identity here that is captivating to witness. So if you're an adventurous traveler who isn't afraid of a little challenge, La Paz is a destination that delivers on every level. It offers unparalleled landscapes, a rich and living indigenous culture, and a cost of travel that is almost unbelievable. Just remember my travel tips. Go slow to acclimatize, drink plenty of coca tea, and use the local buses and telefericos to explore like a true Pacheno. For our third destination, we're heading to a place that's been flying under the radar for far too long but is quickly becoming a hotspot for savvy travelers and digital nomads, Tbilisi, Georgia. Tucked away in the Caucasus region at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Georgia is a country of epic mountains, legendary hospitality, and a history that stretches back thousands of years. And its capital, Tbilisi, is the vibrant heart of it all. The first thing that strikes you about Tbilisi is its stunning old town. It's a maze of cobblestone streets, leaning wooden houses with intricately carved balconies, and ancient churches standing guard over the city. You can wander for hours and feel like you've stepped back in time. But then, you'll turn a corner and find a super modern bridge, a quirky street art installation, or a trendy wine bar, and you realize this city is the perfect blend of old and new. Now, let's talk about two things Georgia is famous for: wine and food. Georgia is actually one of the oldest wine-producing regions in the world, with a history of winemaking that goes back 8,000 years. And the best part? It's incredibly cheap. You can get a glass of delicious high-quality local wine for $1 or $2, or buy a whole bottle from a market for just a few dollars. It's a wine lover's paradise on a backpacker's budget. The food is just as incredible. Georgian cuisine is hearty, flavorful, and unique. You have to try khachapuri, a cheese-filled bread that is pure comfort food, and khinkali, savory dumplings filled with meat and spices. You can feast like a king here for under $10 a day, easily. The hospitality known as supra is legendary. Georgians believe that a guest is a gift from God, and they will often go out of their way to feed you, help you, and make you feel at home. One of the most unique experiences in Tbilisi is visiting the sulfur baths in the Abanotubani district. These domed brick bathhouses are built over natural hot springs, and for a small fee you can get a private room to soak in the mineral-rich waters. For a few extra dollars you can get a traditional scrub called a kisi, which is an intense experience. You'll leave feeling cleaner than you've ever felt in your life. For getting around, Georgia has a system of minibuses called marshrutkas. They are cheap, a little chaotic, but they will get you almost anywhere in the country. They are an experience in themselves and a great way to meet locals. For an unforgettable day trip or a multi-day hike, I highly recommend heading up to the Caucasus Mountains to see the iconic Gergeti Trinity Church in Kazbegi. The views are absolutely breathtaking and worth the bumpy ride. Tbilisi has also become a major hub for digital nomads, thanks to its low cost of living, liberal visa policies, and a growing number of co-working spaces and cafes with great Wi-Fi. There's a real creative, entrepreneurial energy in the city right now. It feels like a place on the cusp of something big, and it's exciting to be a part of that energy. If you're looking for a destination that combines stunning mountain scenery, ancient history, unbelievable food and wine, and some of the most welcoming people on the planet, all for a fraction of the cost of traveling in Western Europe, then Tbilisi, Georgia, should be at the very top of your list for 2025. It's a country that captures your heart and doesn't let go. Okay, from the mountains of the Caucasus, we're now jetting off to a literal paradise on Earth, the island of Zanzibar, just off the coast of Tanzania in East Africa. If your idea of a dream vacation involves pristine white sand beaches, crystal clear turquoise water and swaying palm trees, but your budget screams no, then Zanzibar is the answer to your prayers. This place is proof that you don't need to be a millionaire to experience a 5-star beach destination. The beaches here are world-class. I'm talking sand so fine and white it feels like flour between your toes. The water of the Indian Ocean is warm and so incredibly clear you can see the fish swimming around your feet. Whether you're on the bustling beaches of the north like Nungwi or the more laid-back, kite-surfing havens of the east coast like Pahe and Jambiani, you will be blown away by the natural beauty. And the cost? You can find beautiful beachfront guest houses for $20 to $30 a night. But Zanzibar is so much more than just its beaches. The island has a rich and complex history as a trading hub, creating a fascinating cultural mix of African, Arab, Indian, and European influences. You can see this most clearly in the capital, Stone Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a labyrinth of narrow, winding alleyways, ancient stone buildings with massive, intricately carved wooden doors, bustling markets, and beautiful mosques. One of the best things to do is a spice tour. Zanzibar is known as the Spice Island for a reason. For centuries, it was a major producer of cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, and black pepper. On a tour, you can walk through a spice farm, see how these spices grow in their natural state, and taste them fresh from the plant. It's a sensory experience that connects you to the island's history and smells absolutely amazing. The food scene, especially the seafood, is out of this world. Because you're on an island, you can get fresh-caught fish, octopus, lobster, and prawns for incredibly low prices. Head to the Forodani Gardens food market in Stone Town at night, where dozens of vendors set up grills and cook up fresh seafood skewers right in front of you. You can have a huge, delicious seafood dinner for just a few dollars while watching the sunset over the ocean. A word of warning, the beach life in Zanzibar is dangerously addictive. It's so easy to fall into a routine of waking up, swimming in the ocean, reading a book in a hammock, eating fresh fruit, and watching the dhows, those traditional sailboats, glide by at sunset. It's a place that forces you to slow down and just be present. You might plan to stay for a week and find yourself still there a month later. It happens. My travel tip here is crucial for budget travelers. While Stone Town is a must-see, the tourist traps there can be expensive. For a more authentic and affordable experience, head to the beaches on the East Coast like Pahe or Jambiani. book a local guest house instead of a big resort, you'll get a much better feel for the local culture, support the local economy directly, and save a ton of money. Zanzibar is the ultimate affordable paradise. It offers world-class beaches, a rich tapestry of culture and history, incredible food, and a laid-back vibe that will melt your stress away. If you've been dreaming of that tropical island getaway but thought you couldn't afford it, think again. Zanzibar is waiting for you. For our final destination, we are heading back to Europe, but to a corner of the continent that most people overlook, Tirana, Albania. Nestled in the Balkans with Mediterranean weather and stunning mountain views, Albania was isolated from the world for decades under a strict communist regime. But today, it has emerged as one of Europe's most unique, vibrant, and ridiculously affordable destinations. Tirana is quirky, colorful, and full of surprises. The first thing you'll notice about Tirana is the color. After the fall of communism, the city's mayor, and now prime minister, started a project to paint the old gray Soviet-era apartment blocks in bright, cheerful colors and patterns. It completely transformed the city's atmosphere, turning it into a living art gallery. It's a symbol of the country's optimism and its forward-looking spirit. It's a city that doesn't take itself too seriously. Albania is arguably the cheapest country in all of Europe. The value for money here is simply staggering. I'm talking about getting a strong, delicious espresso for less than $1, a fresh haircut for $2 or $3, and a massive, tasty meal for $5. You can have a full day of unique experiences in Tirana for under $10. For example, you can take the Dashti Express cable car up to the top of Mount Dashti for breathtaking views of the city, all for about $8 round trip. The culture in Tirana is a fascinating mix. You have the history of the Ottoman Empire, the influence of nearby Italy, especially in the food and coffee culture, and the very recent, very raw history of the communist era. To understand this past, you absolutely have to visit the bunk art museums. These are massive, sprawling nuclear bunkers built by the paranoid dictator Enver Hoxha, which have now been converted into history museums and contemporary art spaces. Walking through their cold concrete tunnels is a chilling and unforgettable experience. The coffee culture in Tirana is a huge part of daily life. The city is filled with trendy cafes and locals love to spend hours sipping coffee and socializing. It's the perfect way to soak in the local vibe. Just find a cafe in the trendy Bloku district, which ironically used to be the exclusive, forbidden neighborhood for party officials. Grab a coffee and watch the world go by. For transportation, local buses are your best friend. They are incredibly cheap, though the system can be a bit confusing at first. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Albanians are known for their hospitality and are generally very happy to point you in the right direction. Tirana is also very walkable, especially the city center, which is the best way to discover its hidden corners and quirky street art. The energy in Tirana is youthful and dynamic. It feels like a city that is rapidly reinventing itself, shedding its dark past, and embracing a bright future. There's a buzz in the air, a sense of possibility that is contagious. It's not as polished as other European capitals, and that's exactly what makes it so charming. It's real, it's gritty, and it's full of life. So if you want to explore a piece of Europe that feels completely different, that's rich in history, full of quirky character, and won't cost you more than a weekend at home, Tirana, Albania is your answer. It's a city that will challenge your perceptions and reward you with an authentic, unforgettable travel experience. It's the perfect end to our list of insanely cheap destinations for 2025. There you have it. 5 insanely cheap destinations that prove travel in 2025 doesn't have to cost a fortune. From the chaotic streets of Hanoi to the sky-high city of La Paz, the ancient meets modern vibes of Tbilisi, the paradise beaches of Zanzibar, and the quirky heart of Tirana. Whether you're craving mountains, beaches, culture, or food, there's a budget-friendly adventure waiting for you. The world is so much more accessible than you think if you just know where to look. These places are more than just cheap, they are rich in experiences that will stay with you for a lifetime. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these spots is going on your bucket list? Or maybe you've already been to one of them and have your own stories or tips to share. Drop a comment below and tell us your favorite budget-friendly destination. I read every single one, and your suggestions help our entire community of travelers. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on ways to travel smarter, cheaper, and better. We have so many more adventures and tips to share with you. Until next time, pack light, travel far, and remember the best memories don't come with a receipt. See you in the next one.